His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, our citizen. It is a distinguished honor to perform one of our statutory responsibilities. LACRA was enacted into law in 2016 to regulate the agricultural commodity sector. And one of our statutory functions is to announce the national price of cocoa within the Republic of Liberia, taking into consideration the price of cocoa on the global market. Today, what I'm going to be doing is to officially announce the price of the prices of the three different grades of cocoa, and then state few different intentional notes. So using the average of the International Cocoa Organization, the RCCO, daily quotations, the Liberia Agricultural Commodity Regulatory Authority, LACRA, is pleased to announce the following farm gate prices for cocoa in Liberia for the month of October 2021. There are three grades of cocoa, and there are three different qualities. Grade 1, the farm gate price of cocoa per kg in US dollar for the month of October is $1.47. To be considered grade 1, we will accept that the maximum moisture content of the cocoa beans should be 7.5%. The maximum slated content for cocoa beans should be 3.0%. The maximum defects or mold for grade 1 cocoa should be 3.0%. And the beans count for quality measurement maximum should be 100 beans per 100 kilograms. That was grade 1. Grade 2, the farm gate price for the month of October is $1.33 US cent. And to be considered grade 2, cocoa beans has to have maximum moisture content 7.5%, maximum slated content 8.0%, maximum defects or mold 4.0%, maximum beans count, beans per 100 kilogram should be 106 beans. The third category is subgrade. To be considered, the price of subgrade per kilogram is $1.17 US cents. And the maximum moisture content is 7.5%. The maximum slated content is 8% and above. The maximum defects or mold content is 5% and above. And the maximum beans count, the maximum beans count should be 120 beans per 100 kilogram. On that note, let me give you critical notes. 1, unless otherwise negotiated between buyers and sellers, exporters are required to pay all lessons, and lessons is online, lessons producing buying agencies, registered farm association, and certified cooperatives. Inland freight for cocoa delivery to their warehouse at the rate of US 8 cents per kilogram, as well as 10% buying commission applicable on the net farm gate value of cocoa beans transfer. 2, only certified cooperatives, registered farmer organizations or associations, and licensed buying agencies are authorized to buy a farm gate. Number 3, licensed exporters are to purchase cocoa beans only from registered cooperatives, licensed farm groupings, and produce buying agencies. Number 4, pricing and grading disputes between and among buyers and sellers should be firstly referred to the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority's management for amicable settlement. using the official LACRA grading chart as the basis. Number 5, prices are converted to Liberian dollars using the prevailing central bank market exchange rate, prevailing exchange rate between the US dollar and Liberian dollar on the day of transaction. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I will open up for questions as was announced by Mr. Garvey.
Yeah, so we're going to ask you so from Africa.
So, good afternoon, I'm Webster Clay from Frontpage Africa. I mean, what's the cause of changing price?
Because in terms of exchange rate,
why you decided to change the price, the new price you're coming out with?
Globally, cocoa prices are set per season. Some countries does monthly, some people do quarterly. So it is the market on the global, the price on the global market changes based on different variables. As such, as part of the global world, Liberia announces prices as the time goes on. So it's not actually a change in price, but it is the tradition in the cocoa sector. As the global prices kind of gets changed, we also have to adjust our prices.
Yeah, before coming, we also want to announce also that the Deputy for Administration and Fundraisers is also part of the press conference.
So just to buttress the question the Director General asked, if you look at the first paragraph of the price you have here, we talk about using the average of the International Cocoa Organization. So using that average, it means everything that we are doing here, our source of information is the International Cocoa Organization. Like he said clearly, some will do it quarterly, some will do it monthly, some will do it annually, based on the prevailing situation of the market. It can go up, it can come down. And just to measure a few things, we also talk about the price is a floor minimum price. So that means the price that we just announced, for example, the $1.47, you can only buy above, but not below. I hope that is clear. So this price, you can come and negotiate with the farmer. You say, I want to buy a cocoa for $2. We will not have problem with that. What we will have problem with, we'll call it default. If you come to the farmer, because every farmer may not have this information, you tell them and say, I want to buy a grade 1 cocoa for $1. Then we'll catch you in an act, we'll charge you for default. So I just want to emphasize on that.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, I think you were almost to my question. My name is Emmanuel Colley. On note 2, he said, only certified cooperatives. I want to get a clearer picture. And something that he said, are there penalties set for people who may have violated any of these regulations the authority has come up with?
Yeah, so we have the cocoa regulations. We have the regulations that regulate the entire cocoa sector. So to be considered an official cooperative, and cooperative comprises of farming groups, you have to have been registered with the Cooperative Development Agency, which is another arm of government that is charged with the responsibility of managing cooperative. They have the cooperative to train them, provide leadership for their management, provide support to them. And then to trade, in order for us to provide support to you, that cooperative has to come to LACRA and receive lessons from LACRA as a cooperative. And then we provide support to you for, say, your warehouse development. When you have issues with traders, we intervene on your behalf in different kinds of things. So in terms of being lessons, that's the regulation. In terms of penalty, the regulations are penalty. To buy cocoa and ship cocoa out of Liberia, to be an exporter, we call them, you have to be a licensed exporter. And there are requirements. You have to have a registered business, be a tax-paying agency, and several different things. And there are penalties associated with violation of these policies.
Jefferson from Freedom.
Good afternoon, sir. I want to know how supportive is the cocoa sector or the industry to the revenue-generating arm of the country?
You know, LACRA and other agencies of government have been working really seriously to ensure that the cocoa sector becomes a viable avenue for economic development in this country. All of us around this table, many of us around this table may have heard about LPMC. the Liberia Produce Marketing Corporation prior to the war and right after the war. LPMC was one of the leading supporters of government as a government entity, and then LPMC got defunct in 2016 and LACRA was created. Right now, the cocoa sector is supporting the economy of Liberia because it brings money to the farm base for our farmers and provide employment for some people. But we think that more of that can be done. So LACRA right now is being reviewed and undergoing several different studies to ensure that the cocoa sector can provide more support to the Liberian economy.
Yeah, yes, wonderful. So my name is Bonnie, I work for OTFM. I heard it from your premise, you said the price is basically for the month of October.
Yes, sir.
I'm concerned about, is there a possibility that the price may change in November, given, like the Deputy said, the prevailing situation in the international world when it comes to cocoa, on the cocoa market? Is there a possibility that the price, like you just announced for October, will change in November? That's one. Two, there are concerns about LACRA being very, very well effective in the Southeast. Are you thinking about rolling out some of the activities outside?
So to your first question as to the possibility of the change in price, I would say yes. Again, the determination of price for the cocoa sector globally is dependent on several variables, both global and local variables. So take for example, if bringing one bag of cocoa or 50 kg of cocoa from Ghana to Monrovia, right now is $25. That is an assumption. Like right now it's $25. And then in November it jumps to $50, which is a $25 increment in price for transportation. Those kind of variables affect the price of cocoa because the person buying the cocoa from Ghana to bring it to Monrovia will be spending more money to transport the cocoa. That also affects their profit when they go on the international market to sell. So there are several variables that are taken into consideration. So the price will go up, it will come down, it will stay the same. In terms of our effectiveness, LACRA is working. We are not being able to reach to every county. LACRA has enormous challenges, budget-wise, support-wise. Right now we have our team in Lima, in Lofa, and Bon. We have offices open in those counties and are running donor in the entire county. We visited Grand Basso, we have visited Grand Cape Town. By the way, let you know, beginning January, LACRA will be engaging into a massive cocoa nursery development to support farmers so that we can increase our production in Liberia. On the side note, you'll note that Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast and Ghana are enormously supported by cocoa. 60% of our Ivory Coast export is cocoa alone. I mean, we earn $3 billion just from cocoa. So Liberia or LACRA, as a government entity, we are working on supporting farmers to increase our volume as well. So effectiveness, we are reaching out, but in the Southeast, we are not being able to reach out to the Southeast as we want to because we do not have the logistics and the support yet. But we have the intention to do so, and we're praying that we get the resources and work to reach out to Southeast Asians.
Louis from New Dawn.
Thank you. The announcement you're making now, has it been done in consultation with the stakeholders?
Yes, so last week, Monday, we had a stakeholder meeting that comprised of the development partners, the NGOs, the EU, the USAID, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Commerce, Cooperative Development Agency, CARI, the Central Agricultural Research Institute in Bon County, and all of farmer cooperatives, farmer groupings. So we had a massive meeting. So the determination of price is not done by LACRA. LACRA statutory responsibility, but we made consensus among bilateral, multilateral, and government agencies to come up with this price.
Last question. Yes.
Yeah, I'm most concerned about you said the Africa Coast, all of sub-regional countries, they are doing well in their industry, particularly cocoa. And you said LACRA is willing to support local farmers. I'm concerned about the kind of support you intend to provide so that we can be on par, if not on the same level, to the industry, I mean the cocoa sector.
Let me let my deputy corporation comment on that. My brother will come here.
Well, so when you talk about the kind of support, the first thing we have to look at our export volume. Our export volume is very low. So to be on, I hate to say to be on par, but to be running beyond I will not use Africa, but to be running behind Ghana, maybe it's even unfair to Ghana, but we use Cameroon, Peru, and Ecuador. We have to increase our production, and that kind of increasement will be done by, you heard the Director General saying by next year we'll be giving farmers support. That will be giving them cocoa seeding, so that they can grow more cocoa, and by that we can increase our export volume. And then even in terms of income generation for LACRA, as LACRA is supposed to be responsible for ourselves, like you will see other SOE with the exception of GSA, like for example they put here LPRC and other SOE were supposed to be funding ourselves, but we can only do that when we have huge budgetary support at least, and when we stand on our own, we can do that. So we have identified increasing production to be one way or means of boosting our own income generation.
In addition to that, LACRA is already supporting farmers. We have a team, we have a team in Lofa County that is currently working with farmers to do post-harvest handling. The cocoa beans, the more the value, the more the value, the better the money. So when you saw here now, we have grade 1, grade 2, and sub-grade. When you produce grade 1 cocoa, you earn more money. Or organic cocoa, or you will hear premium cocoa. All of those cocoa are kind of a different grade of cocoa, and they come with post-harvest handling. So we have a team in Lima, we have a team in Lofa that are currently training farmers on how to ferment their cocoa, how to process their cocoa. Some of the chocolates you eat on the shelves come from cocoa, but then some of the cocoa that are really bad goes to the production of cosmetic. In the world, people pay a lot of money for edible chocolate, edible cocoa. So the people that go to the industrial world for the production of chocolate will pay more money for that. And one of the things LACRA is doing with the development partner is to see how we can increase the quality of our cocoa. So right now we have our teams in Lima and Bong that are training farmers to produce quality cocoa. So that one of the support that is going on, and we're going to increase that support in the coming year. And then we're going to already spoke about the nursery. We want to increase our volume. We can't be on par with Ivory Coast and Ghana, obviously, because Ivory Coast and Ghana produce 60% of the world cocoa. Bulk of the cocoa that is consumed all over the world comes from Cote d'Ivoire and from Ghana. And these countries make billions of dollars. And the good news for us is that we have the same climate with them. Our soil is good, the weather is favorable, we can grow cocoa almost in any county in Nigeria. So with little effort of us supporting farmers to increase farm size, increase production, produce good cocoa, we will have getting somewhere in the next few years. And by God's grace and favor upon Liberia, we can also start using cocoa as a strong revenue generating agency.
So in terms of support, again, you portray the Director General. Our team have been working maybe across 5 counties. We always measure Nima, Bon, and Lofa for a very good reason. Nima, Lofa, Bon is, I will use perceived to be the cocoa region in Liberia. I mean, that is something that always been there. So we've been giving extension services to farmers in the 3 counties that I just named. In Grand Bassa County, our person is visible there. In rural Mosurado, we'll be visiting farms, giving them support. In Grand Cape Mount County, we have already piloted the project that we are talking about in 2022. So in Grand Cape Mount County, currently we have around 10 farmers that last year we distributed seeds to, and their farms are coming up very well. So that was a pilot, and now we want to make it very big that we can at least cover another 5 counties. So in terms of support, in a big way, I think we'll be doing well and be giving support to farmers across.
We're just concerned about the implementation because it's a very good process. The price ceiling has been announced. What are you thinking about getting people in the field so that that price ceiling you just announced cannot be undercut by other exporters or maybe players in the field? Do you have inspectors or maybe players to ensure that it is well implemented?
We have quality control agents, we call them quality control agents assigned in the various counties who monitor these prices to ensure that vendors and buyers are treating our farmers right. Besides that, as we have officially announced, we're going to be working with a lot of youth media family to help us disseminate this information. We'll be sending them to the various counties so they are announcing the vernaculars in these various counties. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to come to some of you radio stations, to some of your talk shows to talk about this in detail. We we are looking forward to this in the newspaper on LACRA's Facebook website. Our website is still on development. Maybe the next announcement we might have our website functional. So we're going to disseminate it, but then we have agents in the field who will monitor it. And you know our Liberian thing, no matter how it works, we may still try to circumvent the process. But we hope that we can be honest with ourselves as citizens.
Thank you, colleagues. We want to thank you for coming. We hope to hear from you soon.